This is the lecture for European history for Monday, the 10th of January, 2022. And we have been talking about the early phase of industrialization, the biggest change in human lifestyle since the development of agriculture. So, as labor is concentrated in mills and factories from cottage industries, as networks of transport, first canals, then railroads, are built to transport the cargo, the raw materials to the factories, the finished goods from the factories to the markets. The question of what is going to make a factory more than the sum of its parts comes up. And in regards to this question, I am going to show you excerpts. David Macaulay, in the 80s and 90s, did a series of books and videos on constructing classic bits of architecture, pyramids, Roman cities, cathedrals, castles. And one of the more unusual ones, skyscrapers, was what he calls mill times. So I'm going to show you excerpts. Now, it's meant for an age group slightly younger than you, but you can handle that. And it's filmed, some of the location filming is in a place called Old Sturbridge Village in southern central Massachusetts, which is a historical reenactment place set in 1842, and other places in New England where I've actually been. My wife and I actually almost got jobs in Old Sturbridge Village when we were young marrieds because we thought it would be a hoot. We decided not to because they paid next to nothing and we weren't independently wealthy. So I'm going to show you clips or extended clips from this. Would somebody please close the shades and turn off the lights? I will pause the video if I can figure out how to do that. After seeing mill times, or the live action parts of it, the question was, when did welding come about? In terms of shipbuilding, which is what I know about, into early World War II, ships were built with rivets that would hold plates together. But in the middle of World War II, American innovators particularly mastered welding. Now, at first, sometimes the welds would actually come apart and ships would just fall apart at sea, which is scary. But it was much quicker than welding. It was a much lighter system than welding. And ultimately, what we have today are, when you weld something, the welded area is actually stronger than the regular parts of the steel. So in terms of large-scale use in something as important as shipbuilding, we're talking the early to mid-1940s. So it's well after this. Anyway, tomorrow we'll talk more about factories. Yes, sir?
I know the Germans during World War II, many other tanks, including Tiger, had their entire main body was welded and together.
And that was cutting edge, whereas the British used rivets.
Yeah.
No, quite true. Any other questions? Then you can talk quietly among yourselves in the voluminous time before dismissal.
Whether to sober in the mind, so I can.
Want me to film you?